Now I'm up here in the area that I grow all fresh produce for my family. And the one thing about the grow your own area, even though I've got rhubarb on one side and currants and beans and potatoes and a whole host of others, I do like to have some flower here as well. I think seeing the beauty of flower whilst you're working in the area, it goes synonymously together. Now I'm going to show you how to sow and grow these wonderful climbers behind me, aka sweet peas. Now everybody loves sweet peas. The thought of having sweet peas in your garden is very special. I remember my gran growing sweet peas. Beautiful flowers like this that almost looks like wings of a butterfly, I suppose, and the fragrance here is fantastic. Now I can show you how to grow these beautiful climbers because sweet peas are annual plants, well these particular ones are, and they're famed for their delicate flowers and very strong scent. In fact, whenever I smell sweet peas, I'm transported back to my childhood garden because my dad grew them as well. And right now, my mind is filled with the sights and the sound of that time. The power of scent, it's amazing. Now, sweet peas have a relaxed climbing habit, which is pretty good, and it makes them an incredibly popular in cottage gardens. And you can use garden canes and wigwams and nets and a whole host of other things as structures for the sweet peas to clamber and grow through, like the netting that I've used just at the back here. Now, before sowing, many people recommend, and I do, soaking the seeds overnight. This is because some varieties have a very hard outer shell, and soaking them can make them a lot softer, which speeds up germination. However, others think that soaking a plant may lead to weaker plants. But you know, the whole thing about gardening, we've got to try these different methods to find out what's right for us. Now you can get ahead of the game by sowing sweet peas in autumn, as long as they're kept cool, but of course frost-free over the winter time. However, it is most common to wait until March and sow the seeds once the weather is a little bit warmer. Now you can sow the seeds indoors between March and May and then plant them out into the garden from May to June, or if you want to sow them directly into the ground, wait till late spring. Now, sow sweet pea seeds. Well, it's a bit of a tongue twister that on its own, but I sow them into peat-free potting compost. And you can get these root trainers as well, which are long and thin to sow the seeds into. And they are perfect for sweet peas because they do like to grow long roots. But you can easily sow the seeds into small pots if you wish to as well. Now sow each seed into individual cells, all with around 3 centimetres space between the seeds in smaller pots. Cover the pots loosely with clear polythene to keep them insulated. You can use clear plastic bags or you wish, or you can even use one of those hotel shower caps that you get free. Place the pots in a warm spot where it stays around 15 degrees Celsius and water regularly, enough to keep the compost moist. That's what they like. And when the seeds germinate, and that's an amazing experience on its own to see your little sweet peas germinate. I remember these when they were only that big. The cover can be removed and then moved into a cool but frost-free spot. You know, a porch or a garage window frame, something similar to that. Or you can use a cold frame or move it just into a bright potting shed. Whilst the seedlings are growing, pinch out the tops. Now this is important. There are a few pairs of true leaves to keep and help the plant be bushier rather than letting them just be one long leggy weak strand. Do this by pinching out the tops of the growing tip between your fingers and breaking the stem just above that pair of leaves. Before planting out the seedlings, harden them off, and that's a term meaning get them used to being in the cold by allowing them to acclimatise to the cooler outdoor air. Now you can do this really easy by putting the pots outside during the day and bringing them back when it gets cold at night, and you can do this for 1 or 2 weeks before planting out and using plenty of organic matter to the spot they're specifically being planted in. You can't go wrong. More organic matter into the soil, the better for nearly anything you're growing in the grow your own area. And choose a site that gets plenty of sun, or just about get away with some partial shade as well. But it's got rich, well-drained soil, and that's the secret to success. And then once there's no risk of frost, the seedlings can be planted out. Now plant the seedlings about 20 centimetres apart and water in. And water regularly to keep the compost moist, especially with the dry spells of summer. And we've had it here. We've been watering and watering to keep these going because it's been incredibly hot this summer. And now, as climbing plants, sweet peas need a bit of support to enable them to grab onto something to grow. And you can do this with canes, with trellis, with wigwams and obelisks and a whole host of others. It's just supporting the plant. Now, the plants have tendrils that wind around, so they need that support to grip onto and grow up. So they shouldn't need extra tying in because they do it themselves. But if you want to coax some of the stems in the right direction, you can tie in a couple just so they can get a grip and then they can start climbing themselves. Now, you can prolong the flowering period by regularly cutting the flowers. Now that's lovely. You can take them, cut them and bring them indoors to display in vases and enjoy the fragrance as well, which is really special because inside it'll fill a room. They're really gorgeous. Now, sometimes sweet peas might have trouble blooming, and this could be down to them not getting enough light. That's why I'm saying brightly lit area is better. It could also be that there isn't enough nutrients in the soil that's providing the right type of food that the plant needs. To be sure to dig in organic matter before planting them out, and of course you can use liquid feed as they're growing as well. And a sunny spot means more flowers. And if the leaves start falling off, double check the temperature during the evening and night, because sudden temperature drops, certainly when you first planted them out, can lead to leaves falling off, and even some of the flower buds too. So make sure that you mulch around the top of the plants to give them extra insulation, and that'll also help you by retaining some moisture as well. Now, young seedlings are, I've got to say, attractive to slugs and snails, so be on the lookout for these pests. So you can remove them by hand, or you can use sacrificial crops like nasturtiums nearby to draw them away, and then you can control the slugs on a lot easier basis all in one area. And there are many different ways that you can control slugs. Now, you're well on your way to having a garden full of these beautiful sweet peas, and the fragrance here is amazing. Just look at them. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share. And for more great videos like this one, please subscribe. Let me know about your experience of growing sweet peas. Maybe it's you, your mum, your dad, or even your grandparents, and put it in the comments below. And for more great information, visit my website, daviddomoney.com.